thank you for tuning in to my channel. For today we are on episode 2 of Living by Faith, and I have a guest with me. She's a friend. Her name is Abasi, also known as Jasmine. She's an author, a published author, a singer, a medical student, everything you can think of. And she's going to be talking with us about living by faith. What does that mean to you?
Living by faith to me means going about your daily life and your activities, even though you don't have everything you need at that moment, but then you're living like you have it all, believing that when it's the right time, God would make it manifest physically. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Quickly, just tell us maybe an experience that was the highlight, or maybe an experience that made you realize that, oh, I'm beginning to live by faith. The things that I used to struggle with, doubt wise, and I'm no longer struggling with them again because I've matured to the point of, trusting God. So
that the experience coming to my head is when I was preparing to go to the higher level, that's university. And prior to that moment, I'd always imagined myself schooling outside the country. For some reason, every time I prayed to God about, JAM, because in Nigeria you write JAM and all that, so getting to the university, I just pictured myself abroad, somewhere not Nigeria. And I knew physically these things it wasn't possible because, you need finances and everything. But I was just stunned at how, less worried I was, very calm about it. For some reason, I was really, really sure. I mean, every time I think about it, I'm stunned. Where did I get that kind of assurance from? But I was so assured that you're going to go out. This is the will of God for your life. And so I was, very mature and praying about it and praying that God will make a way, but then being happy. Yeah.
Okay. So that was when you realized that I'm beginning to live by faith, gradually, even when things, as a child, just starting to grow up, things are not what they seem. All right. So any particular testimony? I'm sure this story has a testimony.
Yes, it does.
Sure. So can you share with us the testimony, because it's a result of you living by faith.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, and I always saw myself abroad. And when I told my mom, she was like, okay, where did it come from? Did you mistakenly see some huge amount in my account? That kind of thing. And I said, no, I just always see myself outside. And I thank God for the kind of person she was. She just said, okay, pray, She always tells me, God is your father, or anything you want, you ask him. So that's what I did. I always prayed and talked to God. And I actually wrote JAM, but then it didn't work out. I didn't, get to the cutoff point and all that. So I couldn't get into the university. And while I decided to stay back home and I don't know what I wanted to do at home, someone came and said, actually he was a teacher in my secondary school and told me to come for a foundation program, that at the end of that program I would gain access to go abroad. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the means and all that. And I got there. My mom came to the school and asked the man to show her the brochure for the school, which is University of Debrecen, and she saw the school fees, she saw everything. I could see on her face that she was trying to, you want to discourage me. She was just trying to be strong. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I prayed the more. I just kept telling God, please, I don't want to lead my mom astray. I don't want her to, feel anyhow. So when one of those days, somebody came to, join me in prayers, and he is a man of God. So he asked me, he said, what's that one thing you want God to do for you? And I told him, I want God to make a way for my mom to sponsor me abroad for my higher education. The man said, why don't you pity your mom? That's what he told me. Wow. Why don't you ask God for something? Why don't you pray that God will help you gain admission to University of Ibadan, University of Calabar, that these are good universities? I was stunned. That kind of statement coming from that kind of, man is enough to discourage you. But for some reason, I was even more encouraged. And I told him, I know that it's going to stress my mom, but that's why I'm asking God to provide the money. And like, if I may add, if it is the will of God, trust me, He will confirm it. Just now, I remember when I went for a different church. I was just in a church program and we were praying. It was a kind of crusade, so we were just praying and trusting God. And another man of God actually walked up to me and said, who is your mom? who is your guardian, who is your, I don't know, sponsor, just tell them to get ready. You are schooling outside the country.
Wow.
And
Wow,
that
amazing.
was all for me. That's when I knew that, see, I actually heard from God. It was the voice of God.
Yeah.
That was the weakness I had in my heart. That was all. He just told me, tell her to prepare, to prepare. By this time next year, you'll be studying abroad. That was all I needed to hear. And I was like, wow, God, thank you. So that just really, skyrocketed me to my next level.
Amen.
I'm better at trusting God, even though I'm not the best yet.
So finally, can you just advise briefly, someone who wants to start living by faith, who wants to, go on this journey, what would be your brief advice to them?
I'd say strengthen your relationship with God.
Yeah.
Because that was what I did during that period. That was 2012 and 13. I trusted God more. I spent time with God, not really because of what I wanted Him to give to me, but because I sincerely wanted to know more about Him. I wanted to hear from Him and all that. So faith comes by hearing the word of God. Spend time studying the Bible and listening to televangelists and online preachers, that's advice.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
here
you for
today.
having me.
Stay tuned for more episodes of Living by Faith. That's all we have for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Share this video with someone you love. Take care. Bye.